Hi everyone, welcome to Spirits of Fashion. My name is Ren. I thought it would be fun today, since we're talking about the history of fashion this week, to do a little bit with Halloween. Halloween is my favorite of all of the holidays. This is my favorite time of year. It's still quite warm in Vermont, but I think the temperature is going down as of tomorrow. So I thought it would be fun to do a two-parter tonight. I'm going to do a little bit on how to dress 1950s for Halloween on a budget, and the second part will be the Halloween merchandise at the thrift store that I'll be going to within the hour, and we can have a little bit of fun with that, maybe find some 50s inspired clothing there as well. I'm wearing a 50s inspired, not the shirt, but I had to wear the skull shirt because they make me happy with the dancing skeletons. I have a reproduction skirt that looks like it could be 1950s. It's sort of like a taffeta feel, and it has beautiful glitter. It has like a velvet flocked set of roses with trim of very fine silver sparkly, I don't know what they are, little pieces of fiber that are silver, and that is a great little piece. The belt I thrifted, silver belt. I have on shoes that are not old, they're not saddle shoes, but they sure look like them. I'm going to try to lift my skirt. There you go. I thrifted them several years ago, and I've worn them so much. I get compliments on them all the time. So this is an inexpensive way to do 50s. There are reproduction places that you can go online. One of them is ModCloth. It's not inexpensive, but you can get really good reproductions of 50s fashion that way. Another way to do it is to go thrifting for full skirts like I have here. This is just a dress barn skirt. Don't remember where I got it. I've had it for years, but it's obviously more contemporary. This next piece is one that I also thrifted, and this tag says Odile, O-D-I-L-L-E, and it's just, I love the gray and the pink together. That's a very 50s combination for fabrics and even for decor. So I just love this. It's another full skirt, could be worn with a simple blouse. A lot of the blouses in the 50s were very plain. They even had more of a bowling shirt or camp shirt style to wear with these skirts. And some examples I have here is this one. Now this is a Wrangler. This is not that old. It's an adorable little snap button shirt. But it would really fit in with that period with the pink and the plaid and the sort of the aqua, which was also a popular color then. And you could wear this with a pair of slim capris and flats. That would look very 50s. Maybe put a little scarf around your neck like they used to do back then, and that would look like a 50s outfit too. Another one is this one. This one is actually from the 50s. And I've always been a dancer. I was trained in ballet, so I love this one. I don't remember where I got it. Again, it's been years. The tag is no longer, well, it is, but you can't read it. There's almost nothing to it. But it's a nice, cool cotton blouse that can be worn with a skirt like I'm wearing today. Just cinch it with a belt, and there you have your 50s outfit for pennies. Now, I paid probably a little more than I would at a thrift store because it's an actual vintage piece. There are so many sleeveless blouses out there in thrift stores that have the same style that it's very easy to find them. So it shouldn't be any problem, and it should be pennies on the dollar for you too. The other one is the true 50s, but I just think, again, that gray and pink is heavenly. And I love it, even with the skirt that I showed you. You know, they're different prints, but because they have the colors that are so similar, I think it could work, especially if you sort of separate it with a belt, pretty much any neutral color, maybe a nice deep gray leather belt or a nice shiny pink one if you can find that. But what's great about this is that the buttons, if you can see them, they're little rhinestone style buttons. And then this has a little tie in the front that you can either leave as is or just tie it in a little bow. And that's a beautiful 50s piece. It's definitely a synthetic, probably an acetate, which is more of like a regenerated fiber. It could be maybe nylon as well. That's what I would suspect it is. And if you get brave and you want to fill out the skirt more, there are petticoats that you can buy in secondhand stores. You can buy them at Halloween stores that are out selling costumes right now. So sometimes you can get what looks like a petticoat or a little tutu that will come down right around knee, maybe a little below the knee. This is a great time to go thrifting if you want costumes or vintage, because Halloween is out in the thrift stores, and they often save a lot of their vintage pieces to put on the Halloween rack. This I got again years ago, don't remember where. It's a real petticoat from the 50s. And this is very common to have this long, just nylon piece, and then it gets full towards the bottom. The mistake I made, because I was born in the 50s, but late 50s, I didn't wear a lot of these as a child, and we always wore slips. Well, I wore this with one of my full skirts once for a 50s feel, and I was scratching my legs all day. They were red by the end of the day. Yes, I had hose on, I had stockings. You have to have a slip, because this nylon is very picky. There's tulle under there, which is just the netting, and it's very prickly against your skin. So don't make the mistake of going without a slip. Even if it's a half slip, put that underneath this and you'll be more comfortable that way. The other thing is there are other styles, I'll try to put some screenshots up here for you, that are sort of sexier 50s styles, and if you want to go that route, then you can look for dresses that are, shirtwaist dresses were all the rage, which think about like a house dress. That would be just, have a seam at the waist, maybe with a belt of the same fabric, all different kinds of patterns and some fun patterns as well. But you can still thrift items like that, or you can find a blouse and a skirt to make it look like a shirtwaist dress. There's also what is now known as the wiggle dress. In the 50s, the two main choices were either very wide skirts, like I'm wearing now, below the knee, or very narrow skirts. So that means that it's so narrow, you can't take big steps. So it's almost like you have to wiggle when you walk, because you can't take those nice big walking steps that you can with a full skirt. So that's a lot of fun to look for. The 80s was very good about having skirts like that. The longer skirts around calf length that could be very trim. I had a couple of those in the 80s myself, and I remember it was very difficult to walk. But that was a style in the 50s, very hip hugging and going straight down, sometimes even to more of a pegged bottom and hem. So very difficult unless it has a slit in the front or the back, or pleats, which helps make walking a little easier. So I'm going to, as you can tell, I still have some laryngitis. I can't believe it's been a week and a half, but there you go. I'm much better. It's still hanging on. I think allergies is part of it. Let me know in the comments if you struggle with that too. Final tip I have before I end this portion of the video is sweaters were big. Now in the 50s, beaded sweaters, all kinds of beautiful designs were popular. And they were worn often over a shell, which is just like a sleeveless knit. Or you could wear it over a blouse or a sleeveless blouse, like I showed you earlier, and then with a skirt, or even with your capri type pedal pusher pants, if you have some of those. And this is the real thing. It's 100% Orlon, which is just one of the sort of synthetic fabrics they used back then for knits. And it's a beautiful, like a tangerine or salmon color. And look at that beading. Now you can find, maybe not as elaborate as this, but thrift stores are loaded with imitations of this. You can get, like J. Crew has a lot of the style sweater, Talbots with floral, not beaded, but a floral design. And some of them are beaded too. So you can get them for pennies and be able to have a nice sweater set kind of a feel with a skirt or a nice slim pair of pants. And there's your 50s outfit right there. I hope you enjoyed this section of the video, and I will see you in the next segment very shortly. Bye. Hi, I'm back for the second part of the video. We're at the thrift store. Megan is filming me this time. And I wanted to just add to the 50s theme for Halloween and show you how easy it is to find things that are 50s inspired in thrift stores. First of all, I talked about that beaded sweater that I had that was really a 50s sweater. Well, this is I don't know, the tag's gone, but it could be Talbots, it could be, sometimes J. Crew does this, or Coldwater Creek, but the sweaters are only $4 or $5 here. And this has some glittery moments on it, like I talked about with the beading. So sometimes they're not plain. And this with a little blouse on it, let's say this little guy right here. This is a Land's End. It's very 50s inspired with the little collar. It's not a Peter Pan collar, but it could still pass as a 50s piece. And you could put that under the sweater, or you could open the sweater and then just have a matching sleeveless shell underneath, like I talked about before. Another blouse is this cute little green one. Now, it's not really a 50s collar, but it's certainly plain enough to be sort of like a 50s inspired. What I just noticed that I didn't see before is it says Vermont on it. Hey, we are in Vermont up here. That's okay. But really cute, just a plain blouse like that with a skirt, or like I said, with a nice little capri or pedal pusher pant. And a couple of other sweaters. This is a KEW 159. I don't know that brand, but it's got cashmere in it. It's a great color. It could certainly be worn with a skirt. Another thing you can do is you can find circle pins really cheaply at the thrift store for $1 or $2. And a circle pin right up there would be a perfect little way to add a 50s touch. Another thing is to put it over your shoulders. And if you can find, I've got about 5 or 6 of these sweater guards. I'll put a picture up, a little screenshot up for you. Sweater guard was usually something that was kind of decorative and would hold the two pieces of sweater together up here, but it was over your shoulders instead of having your arms in the sleeves. Another one, this is an M&S collection. Don't really know that, but I love that the buttons are a little bit different. They're not just a plain button. They've got a little bit of character there. Just a black rounded plastic button. That would be adorable with a pair of pink capri pants, or even black on its own. Perfect for the 50s. The last sweater is this Charter Club, which is, again, has some pretty buttons, not just a plain white button that you see on a lot of the sweaters. So I think this is really cool. However you want to dress that up, again, with something under it, with the sweater guard, keeping it on your shoulders. Last but not least, dresses and skirts. The tighter the better if you're not wearing a wide one like this one that I showed you earlier. This is what could be considered sort of a little wiggle dress. And this is definitely not 50s, because you can tell by the exposed zipper that just didn't happen back then. That was never done. And that's the other thing. When you have an exposed zipper that's metal, it's probably more like a plastic that looks like metal. But sometimes designs do come with that if it's meant to be seen. If it's an exposed zipper, it's going to either be metal or look like metal. And that's what this case has shown us. But it's kind of a cool little tight dress that you could wear for the 50s. And it's a little bit below the knees, so that would work okay as well. Finally, this really reminds me of a 50s dress. And it's even got the little sort of patent leather, which is more plastic, but a little belt goes with it. This is Tahari. Tahari's a great brand and usually fairly well made. Although, all brands, sometimes I see things not as well made as I think they should be for a certain brand. But this is very unique, and you could definitely wear that if you put a big brooch here, a 50s brooch. You can really make it look like a 50s garment or an outfit, and a little, either a string of pearls, or sometimes the 2 to 3 strand beaded necklaces would look really nice with that too. I have one that's black and gold. That's 3 strands that would be perfect with this. So that is my little show and tell of what we have in the thrift store today. New things come in every day. Check your local thrift stores. You'll be able to find some fun things for your Halloween excitement and adventure. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. And I do have a free newsletter on spiritsoffashion.com that you can sign up for. And you can see what I'm doing, where I'm going for my events, and what the topics are. So thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.